Welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. Today's video is for you Sagittarius for week 50 of 2022. That's more or less the right middle of December. The 12th, I think, starts that. But anyway, what I'm going to do for you today is a simple relationship spread to kind of give you a forewarning, can give you an idea of what you could be walking into in week 50. Like I said, I'm going to do a basic spread. If any of the cards don't really present a meaning that is clear and concise, I do have a second deck here for clarification if we need it. So without any further ado, let's find out what is going on with you. That was good, wasn't it? I won't do that again, I promise. All right. So, Sagittarius, let's find out what is going on for week 50. What is Sagittarius walking into? All right, so starting it out, we have the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands is celebration. It could represent a wedding that's going to happen, some kind of union of some kind. It can be two people finally joining together after, you know, a lot of winking, a lot of drinking, finally actually hitting that moment where they're connected. You found values that match. It is celebration in the best of way for the right reasons. And then you have the King of Swords, which is rational communication. It is clear and concise communication, easy to understand. You know, it's going to be, you know, King of Swords has a lot of good attributes when it comes to that. But then we have, rounding it out, the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is the refusal of issues. It is not that you don't know there's a problem. It's that you purposely do not want to address the problem. A lot of times the refusing of issues isn't that you don't want to address it, it's that you don't want to believe it exists. That's normally what I get from the Two of Swords, is that kind of refusing of issues. But what I'm gonna do, I think I'm just going to start doing this regardless. I'm going to clarify all three of these, because if you just look at it face value, you have a celebration, you have rational communication, but you're refusing issues. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, that is way too vague. That's way too vague to go into a week with just that. Like, oh, they're going to celebrate and we're going to talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about the stuff that's important. Which could be you're celebrating, you're talking about it, and because you're celebrating, you don't want to have the tough talk. So, on the surface, yeah, could be. But let's find out what it is. What is the truth behind the celebration for our Sagittarius? Okay. What is the truth for Sagittarius when it comes to this King of Swords for that week? What do we got for our Sagittarius' King of Swords? And what are we denying? What is the thing that we are not? Sagittarius, what is on your mind that you just don't want to admit is real? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Celebration. First one, Three of Swords. Heartache. What it's looking like is you've been in a place. Hold on to that thought. So we got the heartache, but we also have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a reiteration of celebration. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is generosity, dependability. I think that you have just come out of a bad place. There's been heartache, Sagittarius, there has been heartache, there has been an issue that you have finally gotten over. There is something that was weighing on your heart. It could be somebody coming back into your life that just confused you. It could be, you think your interest was talking to somebody else. Something that has been weighing on your heart is finally starting to clear up, and you have that relief because you're celebrating. And I think you've just discovered that you think that person who we're celebrating with is dependable, that they have opened themselves up to you so that you know that things are okay. So we're celebrating for the right reason. I mean, we're getting over something. And the rational communication is, I'm starting to see, okay, all right. The celebration might be too soon because that rational communication is based on the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is looking at something from a different point of view, seeing it through a different lens. So what you might be celebrating, this mentality, could be you legit lying to yourself that, oh, everything's fine, because you're looking at it from a different angle instead of what you were looking at it from. Now, the Hanged Man can be a good thing to look through because when you're dealing with problems, you can see different angles. And if you're looking at it from another person's point of view, you may come to the conclusion that, a lot of times, and I'm not saying this is a situation, it could be, but if a partner's cheating and you in your head are trying to figure out how you can justify it, sometimes people will try to put themselves in the other person's shoes and be like, yeah, I've been a butthole lately, so yeah, it was okay that person went out and did that horrific act. For one, it is never acceptable. If you're the one that did it, unacceptable. If you're the victim of it, unacceptable. It is something that you can bounce back from, but don't ever try to justify it. That's not something that should ever be justified. Whatever this heartache is that you just think that you've got this epiphany and, oh, we can get past it. What you're seeing is a different angle. You think you see the success because what you see from that different angle is the sun. The sun is a renewed passion, a bright future. I don't think starting a family is necessarily the big thing here. I think bright future. I think a renewed passion is really what this is signifying. You are seeing this issue from a different angle, and it's caused you to come up with this, things are going to be great. I'm past it. Whatever the bull crap was that we're dealing with, we're past it. And things are going to be good. Which leads us to the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is long-term abundance. What you see is, this could also be a job. This could be a job that, you've lost some kind of financial stability, which has been putting a strain on your relationship, and you finally got yourself back on your feet, and you have this potential of long-term abundance. So there's a lot of different angles that we could be going in from when it comes to the very specific details. But ultimately, Sagittarius, those very specific details are yours specifically. This is a general reading. So you could have different angles coming in, but the overall gist of it is you're celebrating getting past something. And the way that you got past it was rational communication. By looking at it from a different point of view, you have communicated either with that person or with yourself that whatever was going on, you've seen past it, you've seen a different way of doing things, and you believe that it's going to lead to epic success and long-term satisfaction, abundance. But this is where what I said earlier about how you might be lying to yourself is coming into play. That refusing of issues, we're starting to see it come to a head. Whatever you have going on, whatever this success is, you know that the issue's still there. You have bypassed it. You have circled around it. There's a fork in the, not a fork in the road. There's an object in the road, and instead of getting to it, taking care of it by moving it or whatever, you just went around it. The thing's still there, and you know it's still there. And what this thing is, the Knight of Wands is self-reliance, it's difficulty and fulfillment. You are the reason that you are getting over this. It's not the other person. You are the sole reason. I don't think this other person has really changed their input into this. You are doing this, you are getting over this by yourself. And that's why I was saying earlier about rationalizing things on your end that you probably shouldn't be rationalizing. You have no reason to. You are telling yourself that maybe you're the problem. But are you really the problem? Take a step back and think about it. Are we celebrating something good when it's a lie? And more of this refusing of issues is the Ace of Swords. It's new ideas. Like, you are forcing yourself to be happy. Like, that's what this is. You have Whew. Hurts my heart. But at least you know that there's a problem. And that problem's a big problem. Because it's a tower problem. The Tower is when something has been pulled out from beneath your feet. The world has exploded and you know it, but you don't want to do anything about it because you think you've done the right thing by getting over it, by doing it by yourself. You are refusing the problem on your own. Nothing else is making this better. You have refused this problem on your own because you think you figured it out. You think that you went around the problem, you figured it out, you got this new, but Sagittarius, this is still here. The core of the problem is still here. You have found a way to celebrate failure. That's what this is. That's whatever this is, you're lying to yourself. And you're smart, you know it. Your intuition knows it. Because you wouldn't be refusing it if you didn't know that problem's still there. Sagittarius, you have potential, you have power. You have want and desire. You have the ability. I mean, think about it. This is actually not a bad thing. In principle, you have the ability to celebrate even while something bad is happening. That shows incredible willpower. You need to use that willpower toward addressing the problem instead of celebrating going around it. Sagittarius, what is the romantic interest, be it a current partner, be it a potential partner, who is this person that is on the opposite side of our Sagittarius? What is their energy going into this week? What is their side of this? What is their side of this? I've got one very important message that came out. I always try to do these in threes, but sometimes when something's really like screaming is what we got. Their energy. You have not only fooled you, but you fooled them because they think things are fine. They have justice. They have gotten their resolution. They've gotten their understanding. You have met them halfway when they should be meeting you all the way. If the problem is from them, you have no reason to meet them halfway. You have justified them doing something wrong or there being something wrong. In their head, everything's fine. And it's because you told them everything's fine. I feel like I'm really being aggressive, but what I don't want you to do is think that everything's fine. Because whatever they've been doing, they think in their head that it's okay. What I did was okay. If the thing was cheating and you're doing everything you can to get over it, and you seem like you're happy, they're gonna be thinking, okay, cool. I didn't get away with it, but at the same time, nobody's mad anymore. That's not how it should be. Furthermore, with them, you have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is walking away, moving on. They're walking away from this problem. They have moved on from it because they got their resolution. They won in their head. I'm not saying that they actually won the problem, but they won. They have found success and resolution in their situation. In their head, they have. And then you have the Four of Swords. Nice. The Four of Swords, self-care. They are rewarding themselves with they are caring for themselves. They have justified, they are well-rounded. This week they are in a good place because you're not. But you are pushing that front. And from what this looks like, they're self-absorbed. That's the wrong word. They're more so focused on their part of the problem to not notice they're oblivious to the truth. Because if they were paying more attention to you, if they were paying more attention to the problem and maybe took responsibility for their part of the problem, for this heartache, then they would see that the mask that you are wearing is just that, is a mask. That's week 50 in a nutshell. That's week 50. Sagittarius, if you're going to get through this, you got to understand that Tower moment, that big change has happened or is in the process of happening. Whether you like it or not, it's there. This heartache, it wouldn't be here if it wasn't there for a reason. And there's nothing you can do about it happening. But what you can control is what you do about it, is how you react to it. And instead of celebrating success, instead of celebrating failure, you should instead make them understand that you did something wrong. Not you, Sagittarius, but you telling them it's not okay. This is not about them. This is you lying to yourself. You are purposely doing damage to yourself so that they don't have to experience that pain that you are going through. And you think you've looked at it from a different point of view, and you have. You've looked at it from a different point of view that leads to a road of success. But it's not going to be the success that you think. It's not going to be long term. It's going to be great in the moment, but this problem is not gone, and it's going to come back and rear its head, and more than likely it's going to be worse by then, because this person's going to be blindsided and probably really defensive. They're probably going to be in that, I thought everything was fine. Why are you still mad? Be prepared for that. But, okay. Like I said, Sagittarius, you are a strong person. You can do it. So please, leave a comment below. Let me know if this resonates with your situation for that week. If it's resonating with your situation now leading up to it. And like and subscribe so you can get the next Sagittarius video when it comes out. So with that, I will see you Sagittarius in week 51.